Everybody you see on the stage, this is a real family. This wasn't put together by no record label trying to, you know what I'm saying? This was handpicked by this man right here. Handpicked. So, if you don't do nothing else, give this man his credit.
As you guys can see, we are here to discuss the legendary crew and label Young Money. We talked a lot about Young Money at the end of 2024 because there were a lot of revelations that happened regarding the current industry war that's going on right now, mainly affecting, well, honestly, Nicki Minaj, Drake, as well as Lil Wayne in their own respective rights. I'm going to bring to you today some tweets that I've been seeing that I want to guide our discussion on the crew and their evolution in the current day. A lot of Nicki Minaj fans aren't satisfied with the way that the men of Young Money, Lil Wayne, Drake, and even Mack have not stepped in to defend or support Nicki during her times of struggle during the industry, right? Especially when she's getting talked about by other men. It's a new year and it seems like it's a new day over at Young Money. And because of the strife that both Drake and Wayne have been facing, it seems like they've turned over a new leaf. So here's what happened. A couple of days ago, some sportscaster made a comment about Nicki Minaj in a derogatory way. Lil Wayne came out to defend this man, Kendrick Perkins, and he tweeted this. He said, "The Warriors thought they was getting a Taylor Swift or Beyonce and ended up getting a hashtag Kendrick Perkins. Stop playing, bish." So I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this. Did you guys see this? You know, I know you guys are going to have a lot to say. The same day that Wayne posted that statement to this Kendrick Perkins dude, Mack, the president of Young Money, took to his Instagram stories and posted this iconic photo of the Big Three performing at their iconic Hot 97 Summer Jam performance back in around 2014. A lot of fans, you know, as you can see, this fan, right? It says, "Yo, what is going on? First Wayne, now we got Mack." So the Barbs definitely got excited to see the men of Young Money standing up to support their first lady. And it definitely was an eye-opener for myself as well. But I wonder why though? Why now? Is it because of all of the strife that they are facing in the industry? We know, what Lil Wayne sort of went through with not getting the Super Bowl gig and stuff like that. And I wonder if they're seeing things in a different way now because they're understanding that this is not just a one-man army. It shouldn't be just a one-man army, and they should really uphold the bond and the loyalty that they have for each other. And it's not about being passive and or defending industry relationships, honestly, because like, what does that matter anymore? And in the first clip that I played, Nicki says, this is the BET Awards, where she says, "Yo, this is a crew that wasn't put on or assembled by any label. This is all organic. Wayne chose us to be a part of his crew, his family. This is not no industry shit." And so I wish that the guys would have noticed this sooner, because if they did, it wouldn't be this far gone. You get it? And I hope that Drake has came to the same realization, even though I don't see Drake speaking up for anyone because he's already going through so much by himself. And I know that in my last video, probably a week ago, I touched on a conversation that was going around on social media about who has it worse? Who has the worst hate train? Is it Drake or is it Nicki Minaj? It's no question. It's definitely Drake. Drake has been experiencing the most hate in the industry for the simple fact of your op is on the biggest stages in the world calling you a PDF, being backed by the industry. And we can never forget the iconic hand slap from Lucian Grainge to Dr. Dre at the 2025 Grammy Awards, which really signified wow, we actually won, when Kendrick Lamar won Song and Record of the Year. Do you guys wonder if there will ever be at this point, because it's all they have is each other, right? And it's when we think about the Super Bowl in 2026, right? I was saying if we don't see another Black artist or artist of color or of the culture, right? The culture that they love to use. If we don't see our artists of culture in the 2026, headlining the 2026 Super Bowl, it's going to tell me one of two things. It's going to tell me either, and it's giving very much that like the NFL is going to want to move in a different direction because like we don't really want all this woke shit at our conservative event, right? But also, will it be that Jay-Z gave the opportunity of headlining the Super Bowl to the artist that he wanted to? Because not just Young Money, they're not just their names are coming up. Chris Brown is another popular one that people feel like with the work that Chris Brown put in, that he really does deserve the Super Bowl stage. And honestly, I don't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. Chris Brown has been on an extensive tour, has constantly, fed his fans and released great albums over the past years, regardless of what he was going through in the industry. So I definitely think this spot is very well deserved. But remember, the role that Chris Brown played in Rihanna's like abuse story, and people allege that like Jay-Z doesn't really like Chris Brown. I don't really know a lot about that, if I'm being very honest with you. I don't know about Jay-Z and Chris Brown's relationship. That was so long ago. It's not really like there's any industry shit because Chris Brown has suffered the consequences of his actions in the past however many years that him and Rihanna were no longer together. And so we saw this year he got a Grammy at this year's Grammys, for Best R&B Album. And I wonder what's in store for Chris Brown in the industry. And I love how like Chris Brown just like he took his L and he kept working. He really kept working hard to a point where like you can't deny his work ethic and you can't deny his impact on the culture and on R&B and on the current artists that are coming up today. I really like when people put their head down and keep working. We know that you're being done wrong, but keep working because at some point they can't deny you. They can't deny you of your opportunities. They can't deny you your greatness. Sometimes you do want to bite back or whatever, but I really hope that he's able to hold his temper and control himself because it's important to have people around you that you can vent to, because when you take it to social media, it comes across as like messy. And you can definitely express yourself on social media, but we don't have to express ourselves every time something happens because we already know, we already see the play. And one day, hopefully, you will be vindicated, And we've talked about Young Money, the downfall and the cracks in Young Money and stuff like that. And because of all of the stuff that has went on in the industry in 2024, it is now more apparent to general fans of hip hop, and not just, Young Money fans or Nicki Minaj fans or Wayne fans or Drake fans. I think a lot of people are seeing it. I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts on how you feel like artists should handle being blackballed from the industry, whatever you want to call that. What did that say to you when Lil Wayne and Mack stuck up for Nikki? What did that say to you? Mack posted on his story not for the first time, but it's like, damn, like that, they never do that. Like, do you guys really think that the men of Young Money are turning over a new leaf, and will they stand up for Nikki now? Or do you think that it's too late? Does it matter? Does it change anything? Or do you think that it was only in this situation here because Nicki Minaj's name was mentioned? We definitely will be keeping track of how they handle and speak out on certain situations regarding Nikki moving forward, because we can all agree that this is really long overdue. The men of Young Money did need to do better, but there are foundational cracks in the Young Money structure that really contributed to where it's at today. And we're going to continue to talk about that, investigate that, and interrogate that on the channel. So if that sounds good to you, I'm so glad that you're here. Please make sure that all of your notifications are on when you subscribe. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation and that you liked the video. And I can't wait to read you guys' thoughts, okay? So I appreciate you for watching until the end. If you did, type YM in the comments, okay? But thank you so much for listening. Peace.